Hi everyone, it's Anne from Annalisa's Creations. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I'm here to do the mixed media altered playing card group this week. And as you've noticed, last month I had some of my admins for my Facebook group take over and host some of the prompts. So they've come up with some really good ideas. What do you think? How do you think? What do you think? It kind of, mixes things up a little bit, gets somebody else's viewpoint on the altered playing cards. So it helps it, makes it nice, I think. Anyways, I'm here to do a card this week. We're not going to do a doll this week. We're going to do a card. And I'd like to do the theme, along the theme of Gypsy, all right, of a gypsy kind of theme. And my idea of gypsies is they like to mix and match patterns and just different textiles and things. And so I kind of came up with an idea, and what I did is I went on to Pinterest and looked around, perused around, and I decided that I would do face in the hole, me as a gypsy. And then I went ahead and, used another photo app that I have on my iPad to alter my image a little bit. And so I'm going to use myself on the card this week. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't, but I am. And so if you don't want to do yourself as a gypsy, you could, come up with something else. All right. But, along the gypsy type theme. So, you don't have to, I kind of looked on Pinterest. There were a lot of groups that had some free, digital images that you could download of gypsies. So just kind of look around Pinterest and Google and see what you come up with, what kind of pictures and photos you could come up with for your card. So I'm going to first start with the background, and so I'm using some origami papers, and I'm going to use some of what was left of my butterfly napkin that I used last week for something. And so let me see, I'm going to use quinacridone magenta in the fluid acrylics by Deco Art. And I'm going to use some decoupage matte to glue down my papers, all right? And right now my air conditioning is running because it's going to be another hot day. I'm filming on Monday, and this usually goes up on Tuesdays. Gives you one little extra day to play catch up on stuff before the week, for the weekend, after the weekend. I know I'm always playing catch up on Mondays after a busy weekend, and so yeah, I kind of like it when prompts come out on Tuesdays or even later in the week so I can catch up. So I'm going to get started. I'm using little bits and pieces of origami papers that I got at Daiso Japan. So I've already kind of torn them up a little bit here, and I want to keep part of my card on there. I like to keep part of the card just because, I want people to know that I altered this card, all right? That's why I do that. That's why I show some of the card, because I don't like to leave it, I don't like covering the whole thing up. Because after all, this is the mixed media altered playing card group, so I kind of like to keep the card so we know it's a card that I altered. I'm making sure I'm in frame. I did a earlier video that I was editing and realized that a lot of it wasn't in frame, but it was like, oh well, it's going up anyways. I don't have time to redo it. This is going to be a fairly quick one today. going to let this dry and I'll be back in a few minutes. So I let that dry, and so now I'm coming in with a piece of the butterfly from my butterfly napkin. And I'm going to go ahead and put it right about here, I think. So I'm going to use some of my decoupage mat. I'm out of my napkin, my favorite one. I'm going to have to order some more at some point. To the paper. Okay. So I'm going to trim the edges here. And I'm going to trim this other edge right here. And then I'm going to trim this wing off also here on the edge. Okay, so it's kind of going to look like this. All right. Now that it's pretty dry, it's still a little tacky, but it's not too bad. I'm going to put myself down right about here. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of my quinacridone magenta to my background to kind of make everything flow a little better. And then what I do is, because I kind of want to have it be a little bit more translucent, so I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of paper towel and just blot some of the excess off, like that. So there you have it there, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and add myself to the picture, to the card, I should say. And I kind of want to do this a little bit right here. Pull it off a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now I'm going to add myself to the picture, to the card, I should say. So everything's nice and dry. I'm going to include some lace now. All right, to add a little more interest, I'm just going to add a little shape here, just because. And that's going to have to dry. And like I said, the Aleene's Tacky Glue dries fairly quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this and that you'll come back and visit. This is for this week's Mixed Media Altered prompt, Altered Playing Cards prompt on my Facebook group. I'll post a link to my group, and I hope that you will come back and that you'll throw me a like, comment, share, all that jazz, and don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Toodles. Bye.